Hello, Rupa here from Crafters Corner. I'm back with another video tutorial. Today we're going to do Faux palette wood using chalk paints and some multi-surface paints. So it's basically giving the look of a faux palette wood on a smooth surface like this. This is an MDF plank that I have. The idea is to make it look like palette wood just by using paints. So first of all, what I'm going to do is take some gesso. And since you know that MDF is a very smooth surface, the intention is to give some kind of a texture. So what you do is take gesso and then randomly just start applying it. And since we're going to use chalk paints, there's absolutely no necessity for you to prime the surface. The gesso here is used only for giving texture. And we don't need a very dimensional texture. This is not a mixed media project. Just to give a little bit of to break the smoothness of the MDF more than giving texture. So at the random spots you just apply it with the palette knife. There is no need to use a brush. I am keeping the central portion a little smooth because I have some plans for the center. The texture is more around the edges. Okay, so I think that's pretty much enough. So once you're happy with that, I'm going to dry this. Shouldn't take much time because it's a very thin layer of gesso. Okay, so the texture is dry. Now I'm going to start with the first layer, which is sheepskin. This is going to be the base color. I'm going to paint the entire thing with sheepskin. Just one coat, because we're going to build up layers after this item, and I intend to do some decoupage in the center, which is why I'm keeping the background little light. So that's one coat of sheepskin, and don't forget the sides. Let me paint the sides and dry this and then come back. Okay, I'm back. The sheepskin coating is over. A base texture. You can even have a smooth background, so you can see the texture up close now. That's the gesso texture. So let's move on to our next color, which I said is going to be summer poach. For this you need a dry brush. I've shown you how to do dry brushing in my previous video. So just get your bristles loaded with paint. Dab off the excess, and then you just do feather light strokes. Now we're going to build up layers with paint. Okay, this is the first layer. Two horizontal work, and now I'm going to do some vertical dry brushing too. So that's the first layer building up, and I want to keep this space as light as possible because I plan to do some decoupage there, so I don't want any color load there, not too many dark colors. And of course, whatever paint residues that you have, you could go about doing it even on the sides. And since this is a dry brushing technique, it gets dried very fast. You don't have to actually use the heat gun to dry this. Let's move on to the next layer, which is river walk. This is kind of a beige shade. Love that color. Look at that. Okay, so now I'm going to concentrate more on the sides because I don't want the central portion to get loaded with color. It's basically dirtying up the plank now. You want to have that. My projects are incomplete without browns. This is probably the lightest brown that you would see me working with. Okay, so I'm doing some horizontal and vertical. So that's your color number 2. Move to the next one. So how about some hints of red? Very light, yes. It's not going to be very dark. Just that. Why red? Because the tissue that I have chosen has some pinkish red on it. So I just want to complement. You may move on with your shades of browns for this. Okay, so I'm intentionally avoiding the central portion. I'm repeating that again and again because I plan to do some decoupage in the center. So I'm avoiding that area. Okay, so let's move on to the sides. So from a clean, smooth surface, the intention is to create something very used, weathered, a beaten kind of wood, and of course the look of pallets nailed together. So that's the look we want to give. Okay, so that was the third layer on. Let's move on to the next color, which is a bit of blue. And then I will have some brown and a bit of black also. So for the blue, it's nautical. So I'm progressing from the lightest to the darkest, if you see, and not cleaning the brush. I repeat, I am not cleaning the brush at all. I'm using the same dry brush, loading very little paint. Okay. So yeah, there you see. With every coat, the color that you add, the look of the wood changes. So bark brown, which is the multi-surface paint, and for the black too I have the multi-surface paint. If you see, I am not drying the project. It's dry, it's touch dry, it's dry brushing. So I'm loading the brush with a little bit of brown, dark brown, which is bark brown, and this is going to be only around the edges. I don't want too much happening. The effect that the brown is going to create is going to be very dramatic because that's where the real look of wood is going to come. And your project doesn't have to have loads of brown to look that way. So it's, let's say I'm distressing the edges using the dry brush technique and just making the edges look a little okay. So can you see how the difference that brown makes here? Now we move on to black. Very little black is all that I need. Okay, so it's going to be really around just the edges. I'm going to streak it fully. Black and really darken the project. So yeah. Now you need to decide whether you want to have the pallets horizontal or vertical. That's a choice you have to make depending on whether you want to hang this vertically or horizontally and how you have your picture. So in this case, okay, so I have something like this. I have a picture like this. So I'm thinking I will have the planks vertical. I think that should be what for this project. I think I'll have the planks vertical. So what we're going to do is create vertical lines to make it look as if the pallets are joined. So for that, what you need to do is divide this plank into sections. And for that, okay, so this is 10. I could have 2 inches. The planks can all be 2 inches apart. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there are 4 planks, and you need a thin brush and some brown paint. Okay, so for this too, it's better that your brush is dry. You don't need a very wet look. And then the lines again don't have to be really straight. It's kind of the illusion of pallets together. So for plank 1, what I'm going to do is set the ruler and then give a dry stroke like that. I'm doing more around the edges and a very less illusion here. The second plank is here. I still don't know what is the height of the picture, so I don't want to take it too down. So that's going to be my palette 2 here. Second palette here. However, I can reinforce once the decoupage is done the planks, but this is just going to tell me where they are. That's the third one, and then we have the fourth one. That can be a long one, I think. Okay, this is pretty much the look. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, this is going to give you the illusion of the gaps between the planks. Okay. The gesso is adding some lovely texture. I hope you can catch it in the camera. Okay. This is still not complete. I want to do the decoupage and then see where we stand in terms of the height of the palette, how much they have to be connected. So this is the stage where I'm going to do the decoupage now, and then we could have some faux nails or those kind of looks also appearing. Okay, so let me do the decoupage and then come back. Okay, so I'm back. I've done the basic decoupage of the tissue with Mod Podge, and then now what needs to be done is I have to blend it a little bit. So I've done a little bit of blending with the same chalk colors. I'm going to give the look of faux nails here. So for that, what I'm doing is I'm just loading the brush, a dry brush, a small brush with paint, and then just do a circular motion a little bit of brown, and black is what you need here. So we can give the look of a rusted nail. So you just turn that around. Pretty simple. So you make the paint a little watery and then go about doing some color splats. So that kind of instantly gives it a more aged look, kind of a whitewashed, that kind of a feeling. So let this dry. I'll give a coat of varnish. I think I'm going to have some chipboard alphabets here, and you will see the final project at the end. I hope you understood the entire technique of doing a faux palette. Let me come back with the finished project. Hello, here's the final project. The last I did off camera was the color splat with white paint. So after that, what I did was I've done some stenciling in white, the home and the corner stenciling, ornate stenciling here. And these old keys I have recycled. These were golden color. I painted them using the liquid leaf silver, and the nails too have been painted in silver, and then I've hammered them here. I also reinforced these spaces, the faux palette illusion, using the brown black paint. You can see them. So this now gives a nice illusion of space between the palette planks, and then of course drilled holes, and then I have a cotton rope hanging here. And the final thing was sealing it with home decor varnish. Whatever your home decor project, I think it's incomplete without at least one coat of varnish depending on the usage. This is just going to be a key hanger, a home decor item. So I gave about just a coat, just one coat of varnish. So as you can see, this is white. This is non-yellowing, water-based, no odor, very thin, dries very fast. Just perfect for any of your indoor projects like this. So one coat, and this is sealed. You can now see the lovely texture, the faux wood look, and the spacing, and that's how the ultimate project looks. So what we did today was converting a smooth plank of MDF into this. So give it a try. Let me know how you enjoyed this tutorial. I'll have some more pictures of my faux palette projects coming up after the video tutorial. Have a look at them and give this technique a try, and do share your works. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. I will see you soon with another video tutorial. Bye bye.